Hey guys, it's me, DKBonnie17, back with another review for you all. Yeah, so today we're gonna review the long-awaited Five Nights at Freddy's Secret of the Mimic plushies by HEX. Now, out of all the plushies, these have taken the longest amount of time from when I've pre-ordered them to arrive at my house. I remember these came out not long after the game's release, which was in June, but they only started shipping back in October. That's almost 4 months. In fact, another plush that I ordered later arrived earlier than them. Don't get me wrong, I don't really mind anything like that. I understand that delays can happen and stuff like that. People are trying their best, you know. What was quite painful for me, like others, was the pricing, which has skyrocketed up to 75 bucks! That's way too crazy, even for a collectible plush. Although, from my knowledge, part of the reason is because of some political stuff, which we won't get into here, as this stuff just doesn't belong here. Neither on this channel or the entire community for that matter. Still, it's such a shame that it has to be this way. But anyways, we're not gonna focus on all this stuff in this video, as we're mainly gonna focus on the products themselves, as that's the most important part here. So yeah, let's dive into it. Alright, so we're actually gonna start with the elephant in the room, aka the Mimic! The reason why I say that is because this is actually the Mimic from Ruin and not the one from Secret of the Mimic, which I mean, it does make sense, cause in my opinion, this version is the most iconic one. This does actually mean we've got our first plush from Ruin, which is a plus for me. As for the plush, there's actually one major thing that bothers me, so let's just get it over with. This plush has printing all over itself. Why? What's the meaning of this? I mean, if I spent 70 bucks on a plush, I'd at least expect the plush to be all embroidered with nice materials, and this just isn't nice. He doesn't feel as soft as other plushies, which I mean, maybe it's supposed to be like that because it's an endoskeleton, I don't know. Well, I can at least be happy about that many of the details on his chest and limbs are embroidered nicely here. I would also say the overall design is quite decent. Like, when I compare him to this prototype, there's definitely some improvements made here. Like his mouth, even though it makes him look a little goofy, it's still better than being embroidered. And despite this just being printed, I actually appreciate they added more detailing on him to make him look dirty and worn out. The prototype somehow looks much more bland and boring if you ask me. I just wish they'd done it in a similar way like Funko did with their tie-dye plushies. Once again, they gave him different colored buttons for his eyes, this time being orange instead of the traditional black. These flaps of cloth are quite neat and the fluffiest parts of this plush. There's also all these wires which are all attached on both ends. Now, there are some areas on his arms made of this shiny material, which I don't see on him in the game, but here it kinda complements the overall dirty/rusty design. It's definitely better than most of the head being shiny like in the prototype. Now, despite being one of the skinny plushies, he still has magnetic limbs, which I mean is necessary cause he needs to be able to disguise as others. Now, one of my favorite parts about him is the inclusion of a Freddy talkie. As we all know, he uses it to communicate with Cassie pretending to be Gregory. It's so cute and stitched well for being so tiny, and unlike the Mimic, everything's embroidered nicely here. I don't know about you, but I kinda want a Cassie plush with a Roxy talkie to go with this. So yeah, overall, I like him, but the amount of printing puts him down a lot if you ask me. Alright, so next up we've got something different, as it's not really an animatronic but a mascot suit. It's White Tiger! Come to think of it, I've never had any kind of tiger merch related to FNAF before, so I'm really looking forward to that. Also because, as you may know, I'm a cat person, meaning I love almost any kind of cat in the world, including all the large cats in the wild, and tigers are no exception. I just can't help but think they're so cute. Okay, I'm getting off topic here. Alright, so this plush is a lot softer than the last one, and it also has a lot less printing. Yeah, sadly, all the pink and purple parts of him are printed, but it's so minimal compared to the Mimic. Now look at his face, isn't he just adorable? In my opinion, White Tiger was probably the scariest part of the game, part of the reason being his design, and it's the scariest mascot suit if you ask me. But here, it's like HEX just sucked out all of his creepiness. I also like that his mouth is embroidered rather than being three-dimensional like on others. Again, they gave him unique colored buttons, giving him a blue and green eye, which is an important feature that he has in the game. Also, notice that he has extra long arms compared to many other plushies his size, which again is a noticeable feature. Also, his whiskers are made out of plastic, unlike others, which, why couldn't they give him whiskers similar to Bonnie's, for example, but white? Although, they came taped to his head in the packaging, probably to prevent them from breaking off, so that's always good service. Also, unlike others, his tail is not removable, but I could really care less, as I don't intend to mix and match with these that often. But it's still very nicely made and it's pretty curvy. But maybe the coolest part is the inclusion of an actual zipper on the back, resembling that he's a mascot suit which can actually be zipped open if you want to, although you can't really put anything inside him. Hey, Tiger!
Huh?
Your fly is down, up.
What?
Also, he comes with an ice cream cone, which may be some reference to David, who has White Tiger as a plush, and there's also this theory that White Tiger is possessed by David's spirit. I mean, it's just an ice cream cone, nothing much to say about it. So yeah, overall, I definitely prefer him over the Mimic, and this is also great in general, with only a few complaints from me. Alright, last but definitely not least, we have the Vanny of this game, Jackie in the Box. Yeah, despite being the main advertisement of the game, she only has a total of like 5 minutes of screen time. I know Doggo has said before that he's confident we will see her again in the future, but I mean still. But we're only here to talk about the plush today, and I've gotta say, this has got to be the most complex plush HEX has ever made. Like, first of all, she is huge. Or rather, she is tall. And also, just look at all the detailing on her face. Everything's embroidered nicely here, as well as most of the rest of her. Just her hands and party hat have printing on them, which is even less than White Tiger. And can I talk about how they once again removed a lot of the creepiness of her face, although I wouldn't say this is a cute plush. It looks like her hair is made of yarn, which is new and refreshing and nice to touch. Her pigtails are even bendable, as well as her extremely long arms, so you can do a bit of posing with her. Although they're not removable, sadly. Her head is though, so you can still do some mix and match with her. I call this art. And of course, her lower body is removable as well. As we know in the game, she ends up tearing herself free from her box when chasing us. It actually has beams at the bottom which helps her stand if you're planning on displaying her. It does require a bit of patience when it comes to displaying her with her arms posed. So yeah, overall, this is definitely my favorite of this video, and she may even be in the top 5 of this series. She may still be overpriced for me, but you still get a lot more for the price compared to the others. Alright, so my final thoughts on this wave is, I mean, if I look past the pricing, this is such a solid wave. What really puts it down is the amount of printing on the Mimic, but overall, I'm satisfied with the character choices and my expansion to my collection. Currently, I am speculating on what else HEX should make for Secret of the Mimic in the future. I mean, I would definitely like more of the mascot suits, like especially Party Time Chica. I think that's a guarantee, and maybe Sleepy Moon isn't too far behind. I would also like to see M1 and M2 just to make this display more complete. The prototypes might be less likely for me though. Nurse Dolly might be a better possibility. Oh, and also, what else could they make from Ruin now that they've made the Mimic? Well, actually, we already have a Glamrock Bonnie on the way, which I'm really looking forward to. I'm not sure if they'll make any of the Ruined versions of the Glamrocks, but it might be more likely for a Max's plush. Who knows? So that's all for today, folks. I hope you enjoyed watching this video. If you want to see more, then feel free to check out my channel. Anyways, thanks for watching, and I'll see you all in my next video, so peace out everyone.